This is day number 369, 369. I remember this Nikola Tesla. He said, if you want to understand the universe, I think he said, think in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. But he also obsessed over the number 3, 6, and 9. Basically multiples of 3. And everything reduced down to kind of like the number 3 or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, if it's your first time tuning in, my name is Jordan. I'm the founder of dayNumber. I've been documenting my journey daily for the last 369 days here on YouTube, and really with the main goal and the mission to support mission-driven founders to fulfill their mission with what they're building. And usually I talk about a topic that's related to whatever happened the day before or today. And today the topic I put is this one operating principle as a founder will allow you to accomplish the impossible, right? And what is that? And that is a maniacal sense of urgency. And I was just reading this off of Elon Musk's autobiography that I've been reading, halfway through the book already. And shout out again to my friend Paul, who built XP Tracker. It's out already. Definitely check it out. It's helped me to it's what started this momentum of reading. And in the book, Elon Musk's autobiography, one of the things he talks about is the algorithm. It's the way that he works. It's the one thing is he talks about is, they have the one operating principle they have is they operate with a maniacal sense of urgency. At the time when 2018 was probably the hardest years for him, because he had a really tumultuous relationship with this girl named Amber Heard, and then after stuff with his father that year, and then also they had to go from I think it was 5, they had to 10x their production, and that's what Elon was promising for the Model 3S. And it's crazy, they actually hit it, but it was the hardest thing. He had to literally work almost nonstop. He lived in the factory pretty much. He slept on the factory floor, and they had this sense of urgency. They had to get to. He basically cut down timelines. He's whatever you think your goal is, your 10-year goal, shrink that down into 6 months, right? So that's how he thought, and he would set deadlines like that. Impossible deadlines, So when you set impossible deadlines, you develop this maniacal sense of urgency. And why? Well, number one, you don't know how long you have to live, right? You can't say, okay, I'm gonna live for this amount of years and all that. And you have no idea. You have no idea how long you have to live, right? So the key thing is, first of all, knowing that any day could go. I think I saw on the stream a couple weeks ago, my cousin, my second cousin, my dad's cousin's kid, at 34, died, right? You don't know. You think, oh yeah, I'm gonna live till 70 or 80 or 90 or 100 or whatever, but it's we have no idea. So that's one reason to have that maniacal sense of urgency. And number two is, if you have a mission that you really believe in, and that you're the one to do it, you have to do it before anyone else does, right? And that's what I even noticed in Bill Gates when they realized back in 1975 when they saw a magazine publish, I think it was Popular Mechanics or something like that, and the company called MITS released the first version of a desktop personal computer, right? It had no operating software. It was just kind of like an electronic box put together, with some sort of software in there. And he ended up, Paul Allen rushed to Bill Gates' home. He's like, hey, look, I have the magazine. And it was it's snowing. It was January. He's like, okay, we gotta call MITS and write the software for them, right? because they knew they had to be the first because there's going to be somebody else there, right? So they did. They got that contract. Paul Allen started working with as a part of MITS as a staff while they were building Microsoft as well. So it was like two companies working together, but working one person working for them, and they were working at MITS. But they were there, they were there at the forefront. They had this maniacal sense of urgency, So, oh, what's up, man? Cool kid, hi bro, Roblox player Hiroshima. Roblox player says hi. Selwyn Marsh, Jar Banks, hi sup bro, how are you? It's dope to meet you, and everyone just showing my love from New Zealand. As an autistic soul singer YouTuber, I just wanted to show you some love and support and subscribe as well. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Selwyn Marsh, for the sub and the like. I'm here with my boy Max. What's up, Max? And we got an airplane. This is an IRL, guys. An IRL. Look at this beautiful day. Where are you guys all tuning in from today? Like, look at the skies. Hang on a second. The skies, clear skies. Wow. Yeah, where's everyone tuning in from today? I'd love to know. Where's everyone tuning in from? So yeah, that's what I want to say is that, those two things, remember, is that knowing that, okay, we have no idea how much time we actually have. We think we have all this time. So shrinking down your goal of your 10-year goal, whatever you think 10 years from now. Imagine 10 years ago. Okay, I was just thinking about this last night. Like 10 years ago was 2016. It's because when I'm reading Elon Musk's biography, it was bringing me back to dates where I was alive, of course. Back in like 2018, I'm like, what was going on for me in 2018, right? And for him, it was like one of his hardest years, And so for me, but you don't, like I was saying, in 10 years, take that 10-year goal, whatever you think that you're going to do. Like imagine 2036, okay? Which is crazy to say. Even me thinking 2016, I was like 2026. Oh, I can't even imagine that. Look how much has happened in 10 years for yourself, even in your own life, right? Take that and shrink it down to like a 6-month goal, and then do whatever it takes to get there. Now, how did he get there? Like I said, that's why he had that operating principle, maniacal sense of urgency, because he made those impossible timelines. Like he literally, back in 2018, in that period when he was taking his production line, 10xing his production line, he even created a parking lot style assembly line, right? So he was able to get a permit to do an assembly line over like a big 10. It was like 1,000 feet long and 150 feet wide, and they had no conveyor belt, so they had to actually put it on hey, good morning. They actually had to put it on kind of a slope so that it would actually move down the line, like at the right speed, So literally, they had to do whatever it took, to actually hit that mark of like $5,000, 5,000 cars per week, that they're trying to produce. So you have to do whatever it takes and it drove him, obviously to the, brink of insanity pretty much. But it was his mission, what he believed in, how much time and energy, and it did cost him a lot, and that's the thing, is like the thing that you're going after, you have to know that it's worth giving your life to, right? Like your whole self. There's no such thing as work-life balance. There's no such thing. It's like, you have seasons in your life where you're going to go through an extreme amount of maniacal effort. I mean, for Elon, it was like, man, he had since 2003 or 2001 to 2018, he only had a 1-week vacation. And that was when he was bedridden with malaria. Ever since then, he's like worked 7 days a week, pretty much. So, but it all comes from within, What is leading you? What is your mission? What is it that you're committed to and focused on? That's gonna tell your mind, okay, you know what? You're gonna make a decision that, okay, whatever I thought I was gonna accomplish in 10 years, I'm gonna set, okay, 6 months from now, let's say by the end of this year, you know, how can you accomplish your 10-year goal by the end of this year, right? So, and that's what I have to tell myself is like, okay, for dayNumber, with what I'm building, if I see dayNumber as writing 1 million checks in 10 years, how can I do that in 6 months? What would it take, right? What would it take? Because right now I'm not acting with that kind of maniacal sense of urgency, to be honest with you. You know, I'm keeping track of my journey, you know, which is great because it's truly a mirror, and it's a way for me to connect with you guys and connect with more people. But definitely not at that level of what Elon was, or how he's been working, because he was willing to put his whole life and give up everything for the sake of his mission. And that's why I think it's like, if you dream big enough and the mission is like so meaningful for you, deep enough, it'll pull you to do those things. You know, so that's why the very first thing is defining what it is that you are going after. Actually defining that. Because when you define it clearly, right, when you know exactly what it is that you want, you know, going to Mars, that's what, you know, Elon wants to call our multiplanetary species, you know, continue to have sustainable energy on the planet where, you know, we're a tier 1 civilization, right, where we're completely self-sustainable, right, we're harnessing the power of our Earth completely. And also next is the solar. There's like so much energy in the sun, right? So it's like, if you know these things, like that big of a vision or dream, you know, maybe it takes like 10 lifetimes to accomplish, will pull you to do those things, you know, and you don't have to force yourself to do it. Me, I'm not forcing myself to. I feel like I'm forcing myself, but I'm now doing it automatically, even though I feel like I'm being compelled to. It's like, you know, when you're going down a river, you go with flow, right? And you're on a boat, you don't have to pedal so hard. You just kind of steer a little bit here and there to kind of like guide yourself, but you're not, even though you're being pushed that way, right? And you can't control it, you allow yourself, you embrace the journey, you embrace the ride, right? So, but you have a destination, you know, there's a destination you're looking to get to. And you know that if the destination means something more enough to you, you'll go through those rough rapids. You know, if you're going like, you know, if you're going like, let's say kayaking through some rapids down the river. Right? That's the thing I can imagine right now. So the key though is that end destination or wherever it is that you're going mean enough to you? You know, it has to mean so much to you. It has to be as big as the sun compared to the earth. You know, because look at the sun. Everything stays in its orbit. You know, that it's like it's one, like we're like 0.01% of the mass of our solar system. The rest is the sun. The sun is 99.99% pretty much of the mass of the solar system. Create that mass in terms of what it is your mission is, for what it is that you're building. And when you do that, guess what? You'll automatically be drawn towards it. And you'll do the things that you feel compelled to do. You know, like I said, it'd be like white river rafting, but not rafting, but kayaking. Like, not like the crazy. It could be crazy. And that's what, you know, Elon Musk signed up for with what he was doing. He was going on a, you know, if you think about intensity level, like a nice calm stream going downward flow, and then like a little bit more hectic, and then he's probably like white river rafting on a kayak, or even on a fucking sailboat, or whatever, a little tiny little raft, and making it or creating it along the way, you know. So it's like, whatever, we don't know what, we just have to decide. That's why it's our decision, and knowing like, okay, this is exactly what I'm going after. This is exactly the direction I want to go. This is my dream, right? So define your dream, whatever that is. It's an experience. It's It's something that you feel called to, your mission, right? Whatever that is. So if you're young right now, if you're still, you know, in school or whatever, you could start doing that now, right? I hope I reach some young people here that are like, you know, like my daughter's age, you know, 8 or 9. I hope I do. And I hope you're able to discover your mission. Like Elon, he knew, right? Like after he was reading like science fiction books and all that, he's trying to define the meaning of life and everything. And he decided he really wanted to make, you know, humanity a multi-planetary civilization, right? Because imagine like if a meteor all of a sudden boom hits the earth and like we're done, like what are we gonna do, right? So we have to have another place to actually be able to continue consciousness. So yeah. Anyways, guys, it's gonna be noisy a bit. I'm on the main road here, as you can see. Yeah, guys, thank you again for following me. This is a message to myself as well, you know, really to say like, you know, this is like everything I'm telling you, I'm telling myself. So this is a message to me. So thank you guys. Shout out to everybody here. Novener, are you good? Hey, yes. Welcome. Selvanana, Marsh, Roblox player, Cookie Kid. If you just tuned in, I upload every day, whether it's a live or a video. This is day number 369 of me documenting daily. I'm also a magician, so I've been meaning to do some magic, but I will get back on and do some of that soon. So thank you guys again for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Day number 369, I'm out.